Turmeric is a spice used in various cuisines around the world. It is a root native to the ginger family, and its powder form is what we use to flavor foods and as a supplement outside of its use in cooking. What is the active ingredient in turmeric? Well, the active ingredient is this molecule called curcumin. This is curcumin right here. An active ingredient is an ingredient inside of a product we consume that does all the action. For example, Tylenol's active ingredient is this molecule called acetaminophen. Acetaminophen is what gives us the pain relief, any joint pains, muscle pains, or if we have a fever, it reduces that fever. So that's the molecule that does all the action that we want. And curcumin is the molecule that does all the action for turmeric. Very quick fun fact that if you sprinkle some curcumin in alcohol and put a UV light on it, it gives us a fluorescent color, like a neon light. I thought that was really interesting. I just wanted to put that in there. Curcumin does a lot of interesting things. Mainly, it fights off this process called inflammation. Inflammation's interesting because it is good and it can be bad. See, your body is like a fortress with an army. Just like in the olden days, if you had a fortress that guarded a city, you'd have an army that acts as a defense against enemies. And the walls of that fortress also act as a defense against enemies. So your body is just like that walled fortress. You need protection from any kinds of attacks, which is why you have the wall. But you also need an army to fight off any kinds of threats or any bad things that are trying to take over that city, which is your body. And that's what inflammation is there for. Inflammation is the process that your body uses to fight off the bad stuff and to heal the body, just like a big city with a fortress would use their people, including the army and other things, to fight off any enemies and then rebuild things that need to be rebuilt. Inflammation, like I just said, it's a good thing. It helps us fight off the things that we need to fight off and helps heal our bodies. But inflammation can also be bad. So why can inflammation be bad? Well, constant inflammation leads to things like asthma, which gives us a lot of breathing problems. I had asthma when I was younger, and a lot of people have it. You need the inhaler and other things like that. It can lead to things like diabetes, which is just having too much sugar in your blood, which can really destroy your organs and a bunch of different things that aren't good for you. It can also lead to things like arthritis, which is a fancy word for, some pain in your joints, your wrists, your knees. This is what bad inflammation does. Bad inflammation is oftentimes caused by the things that we put in our bodies, the things that we eat. Things like unhealthy fats. Some animal fats are not good for you. Not all animal fats, but some animal fats are not good. That includes fried foods. There's a lot of oils that are not good for you and not good for your body. Simple carbohydrates, which include things like white rice, fries, can be candies, anything that can be turned into sugar in your body. That's what carbohydrates are. Too much sugar can lead to bad inflammation. Eating a lot of sweets, eating too many carbohydrates. If you eat a bunch of pasta every day for a long time, you will probably end up getting diabetes. It doesn't have to just be the sweet, the sugar drinks and the sodas and the candies. Carbohydrates can contribute to bad inflammation. So like I said earlier, curcumin is an inflammation fighter. So I just wanted to list a couple of interesting things that curcumin does. Now, these things I'm going to list are not fully proven through research trials in people. Some of these things have been discovered in small-scale research studies. A lot of this stuff is because of animal testing. And I have a link in the description. It's a breakdown of curcumin, its benefits, and things like that from this website, PubChem. So from the studies that have been done, at least in animals, curcumin can stop tumors from growing, And tumors are just cells in your body that just get overproduced, and that can lead to cancer and things like that. It protects your liver. At least it can protect the liver of certain animals. It can protect your brain. Again, these are animal models, and there hasn't been much study in human beings. But these are some of the things that curcumin can fight against. When we consume curcumin, whether it's in food or a supplement, most of it doesn't even get into our body the way we need it to. Most of it's lost as it's processed in the liver, things like that. In order to compensate for this loss, if you're going to consume curcumin, especially as a supplement, you want to combine it with this molecule called piperine. Piperine might sound familiar because piperine right here, this is essentially the active ingredient in black pepper. Piperine is what gives black pepper its smell and its taste. If you combine piperine and curcumin, it increases the availability of curcumin by over 2,000%. It increases this thing called the bioavailability. Think bio like biology, and availability like available. It makes curcumin much more available to your body. There's a lot of supplements like that, and curcumin is one of them. So if you're going to consume curcumin as a supplement, you're going to want to consume it with curcumin and piperine, because if you just consume a supplement with just curcumin, most of it's not even going to get to the cells like you want it to. You'll just be wasting money. There are other things that we consume that need some help. For example, if we consume vitamin D, you also want to make sure you consume vitamin K as well, because they both work in conjunction. If you do vitamin D, you also want to make sure you consume some fat, like maybe a fish oil or a meal with some fat in it. Fat helps vitamin D absorb in your body because vitamin D is what's called a fat soluble vitamin. It dissolves in fat, so consuming vitamin D with fat is very good for you. So in summary, turmeric is a relative of the ginger family. Its active ingredient is this molecule called curcumin that we've learned about today. Curcumin fights off this process called inflammation. We spoke about how inflammation is good. It helps our bodies heal. It fights off disease, but inflammation can also be bad. Inflammation can lead to diabetes, too much sugar in your blood and your body, arthritis, there's that joint pain and other things like that. So we want to make sure we're fighting off that bad inflammation. One, by changing our diets, but two, by introducing foods that promote the good inflammation. Lastly, we talked about piperine, how the molecule that gives black pepper its taste and smell should be consumed with curcumin because it makes curcumin much more available to our body cells to do the work that it needs to do. Sometimes these molecules need a little bit of help. So thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends. If you have any suggestions of things you want me to talk about or any constructive thoughts, please let me know. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Have a great day.